Welcome back. Episode 30, Coaching and Developing People. So Hector Patino, who's a top leader in Dean Habib's office in Houston, Texas, he writes in, love some of the stuff that you said before I get to your question. I want to help other people achieve the goals they only dreamt about. I want to create something special for my family. I want to help my parents retire, put my mom on payroll. Maybe mom shouldn't watch this yet because she'll start asking you, when do I go on your payroll? So, this is for you here, Hector. But Dean says just a ton of great things about you. You've been working with him for 14 months. He says that you've grown a ton. He says when he first met you, he saw a ton of raw potential. Says a real raw guy. He could tell, this guy's going to be successful. Just somebody's got to walk him down that path. And you recognize it too. The person who I was before coming into this business is not the same person who I am today. So I love hearing the stories of personal growth. It's what's got me addicted to this business. Just playing a part in helping people grow, become better people. I just love that stuff, Hector. So keep up the great work. You've got a team of 8 people now, so you're well on your way to assistant management. And you ask a great question. If you could give yourself some advice back when you were going on to assistant management, what would it be? And so I've got a couple thoughts for you. I'm asked that question a decent amount. Like, if you knew back then what you know now, what would you do different? And I'm always hesitant with that because I'm like, well, gee, if I knew back then what I know now, if I knew where the roadblocks were, the stumbling blocks, I would have done everything in my power to avoid stumbling blocks. I'd want to avoid the pain. Obviously, we all would. But the path to success is paved with stumbling blocks. We grow from failures. I'm a big fan of failing forward. Like, learn something from your failure, become a better person, grow. I tell everybody, listen, make every mistake that's out there except the 2 critical mistakes. The 2 critical mistakes, one is quitting. That's not temporary, that's permanent. Quitting is permanent. That's kind of a no-no or a mistake you want to avoid. The other one's an integrity mistake. I don't want to make $1 million decision or jeopardize $1 million opportunity over like a $100 app or something like that. So I never want to compromise character. I never want to lie or fraud or anything that could jeopardize my opportunity. But every other mistake, make it. Was there a time when I took my 2 new guys out for team night a little too late and had a couple extra drinks we shouldn't have had and then they didn't show up the next day? Yeah, that happened. Like, learn from it, grow. But that's, again, not a permanent mistake. You can make every mistake, learn from it, get better. And so, again, I'm a big fan of making mistakes. It doesn't quite answer your question, though, does it, Hector? So here's the biggest mistake that I made when I became an assistant manager. I thought, okay, listen, this team building piece, got it. I can check that box. I built a crew. I got promoted. Okay. I got that. I got that on my resume now. Now, what do I need to focus on? The administration, the payroll, the accounting, like, where should I put my time and energy? And unfortunately, the team that I built started to shrink. Okay. What got me to assistant management, I wasn't doing those habits as much anymore. I wasn't meeting up with the team as much as I was. And the team started to shrink. And so then I had to rebuild the team. I was a little smarter the second time. I'm like, gee, I'm not making that mistake again. The effort and energy's got to go into building the team. All that other stuff, all the stuff that I thought was going to be important, again, like basic accounting, reading P&L statements. Again, doing payroll. You don't want to really screw up payroll. Legal things. There's experts in all of those departments. Like, every little important piece of business, there are experts you can go to. You're not your own guy that's got to learn everything on his own. There are experts everywhere around you. Just ping me. I'll give you their contact info when the time is right. Just learn those at the right time. The majority of our time has to be spent in team building. If you think about it, the people that make lots of money, okay, in every industry, these are revenue generators. Even look at the premier athletes with their big contracts. They generate a ton of money for the owner of that team. And that's why the owner cuts them in on huge salaries, right? They generate revenue. They're selling TV space. So put your time and energy around things that generate money. You know, becoming great at recruiting generates money. Investing time into your people, generates money. So when I think of like coaching and developing people, which again, I kind of neglected when I got promoted to assistant management. And again, I had to learn that lesson the hard way. I had to rebuild the crew all over again. And this time I wanted to keep doing those things. I really just kind of have three go-tos when it comes to coaching and developing people. Really, how do you get the most out of your people? You got this raw clay, and again, you're this raw person, Ector, the Dean saw. How do you get the maximum potential, out of your people? And so the first thing I have for you is you've got to become great at building confidence in others. Okay? Catch people doing things right. It takes no talent to catch people doing things wrong. In fact, we live in a society trained by that. They'll go out of their way to catch you doing something wrong. I mean, a police officer doesn't pull you over to tell you what you're doing right. Obviously, it's what you're doing wrong. So you want to kind of flip that script, and you want to be great at just catching people doing the right things. Again, training somebody in the field, like, dude, that was a great introduction. Like, keep that up. Like, just building confidence. Now, nothing fake. I don't want to throw fake praise where it's undeserved. I mean, that's manipulating people in my books. But when they're doing something right, notice it, say something to them, because they probably felt it as well too. I mean, if you're telling somebody that was a great intro, they probably saw too that was a great intro. They're just glad that you noticed also, and it builds their confidence. So become great at building people's confidence, Ector. That's huge in team building. Catch people doing things right, okay? Number 2 is find out what really drives each team member, okay? Everybody's got something different. No two snowflakes are alike. And I don't care what it is that really drives an individual. I just want to know what it is. Like when they were successful, when they did something that they had to push and persist and just keep going, like I want to ask them, like, why did you keep going? Like, things are really tough. Like, what was it? How did you get through that? And they'll give you some clues into who they are. They'll tell you what they're real, like, again, in this area, you got to really peel the onion and find out what really motivates the person. Some people, it's family. Some people, it's, I want to be accepted. I mean, whatever the reason is, just help them get to the core of what that is. And then if and when you're finding people kind of falling off, you're the person that they confided with on what their kryptonite is, like what their motivation is, and you can bring that to the surface again and be like, hey, like your family, that's what drives you. You've said this to me in the past, that it's your family. So what are you thinking? How are you going through this process? Sometimes people need that little reminder of their motivation, and they'll thank their coach for that. So you don't have to motivate people. You just need to sometimes remind them of what really motivates them, what really inspires them. Hey, thank you so much. I got it from here. Let me get busy. And then off to the races they go. So find out from your people what truly inspires and motivates them. I think that's really important. And then the third piece is include them. Okay, treat them like partners. Share your challenges, your concerns, your thoughts, and ask for their opinions. And you're including them really in your development of your business, on where you're taking your business. And they're helping you solve problems. They're feeling like part of the collective brain trust of your business. And now they're really a part of it. They've got equity now in your business. And then when you're talking about expanding and promoting people to assistant management themselves and ownership, you're really true to your word. You've been treating them like partners, and now they're soon to become an official partner of your business. So that's really exciting stuff. So that's kind of my go-to 3 when it comes to coaching and developing people, that I'd put all my focus around that. And when the time comes to learn all those little things, and believe me, they are little things. Driving revenue is the big thing. Everything else is little things. There's a time and a place for that. All my energy and focus is around building teams. So hope that helps you there, Ector. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to your promotion, my friend. Talk to you soon.